Hey everybody, Omri here. Welcome back and thanks for joining. Today's flow is a little slower. One of the things I am slowing down on and showing is when I'm doing the Skandasana. I'm allowing the distance between my legs to be optimal, between my feet to be optimal, so that I can feel a stretch of the leg out of the hip socket, which feels really good. The other thing that I did was inspired by a video that I saw earlier, was trying to get from the rooster pose we've been working on the last 3 days into a handstand with a lotus. I can't really do that yet. The last time I did that was probably a few years ago, so my stomach and my core muscles need to get a little stronger before I can attempt to do that again. I can always attempt to do that, but realistically, it's probably going to take another 2 or 3 weeks of consistent work to get to a point where it can lift up and I can feel stable. Thanks for joining. If you like this channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. So have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Starting from down dog, softening the back of the body, and then gradually starting to load by moving forward into plank. And then today my body called for this down dog, forward to push-up, so I can open my shoulders and get my chest going. Stepping forward into a low lunge and then into my first back bend, stretching out the chest and the stomach as I deepen and reach farther behind me. And then I find Skandasana, and what's different in the Skandasana today is that the step is just a little bit wider. And what that causes is it causes my leg to pull out of the hip just a little bit more, giving me a slightly different sensation there, as if I'm trying to stretch a little bit deeper. It feels very good for me today. Back bend number 2 from the lunge. This side felt also great, trying to lift the chest and sternum up. And then Skandasana on the other side, opening up the hips, making sure the legs are as wide as they can get in the Skandasana. Moving on with our sequence, high lunge into chair pose and fold over. Finding the back bend at the top and then a twist on the way back to down dog. So a simple Surya, just to feel things moving from back to front with a slight twist at the end. Finding that back bend these days feels really great, and this is a different kind of sitting into chair pose. I try to stay in the back bend as I sit. It's a little bit more challenging. Orientation's a little different. I like this lifting crows, and there was a jump there into a plank. I think you could have seen the camera shake a little bit when I landed. So everything felt really good. I decided to go deep into my binds and to stretch the front leg. I'm working on this posture these days. So in the sequence, it's obviously sped up, but that's a good amount of time spent with the front leg straight, trying to stretch the muscles coming out of the hip, and I can feel that stretch. It's that same Skandasana pull that I started at the beginning, but I can feel it. It's like I'm trying to stretch my leg out of the body, reach it farther into the floor as I pull away from it, and I try to straighten it at the same time. Up dogs are a rarity for me these days, but they're going to become a little bit more common. This heavy lifting here in the Navasana is something that I'm enjoying more and more these days as my stomach muscles are getting stronger. And as you can see, there was a lifted L-sit lift, which was challenging in the moment. But looking at it now, it actually looked perfectly fine. I probably need a block to lift myself a little bit higher off the floor. This half moon felt totally fine. It wasn't difficult in any way. I just don't have the amount of balance that I used to have in the past. So as you can see, I'm struggling with the balance, but here at the end, and you'll see it on the other side as well, I'm trying to open up a little bit higher, ending up with this pyramid twist to again get that leg The right leg is, I pay a lot of attention to that leg these days. Left leg is a different kind of tension, completely kind of tension, actually. Here's the half moon on the other side. I'm working a little bit on alignment, that's why I'm looking back towards my foot that's in the air. And on this side, I remember I could kick a lot higher and then release the arm and create tension between the different limbs of the body. Landing it back, down, and going into the twist on the other side to straighten the front leg. Felt really good. This is progressing beautifully. Focusing on creating that space between the leg and the body. Here to finish up, I wanted to try the rooster again. So I'm taking a little bit longer to get into the lotus, just taking care of the knee and doing some calibration. And then when I'm ready, I try to lift up. And today what I tried to do is right at the top, I wanted to see if I could start moving towards the handstand. It was a little too heavy for me to lift today, but I'll try again tomorrow. Thanks for coming, everybody. See you tomorrow.